What is up everyone, and welcome to some more F122 My Team Career Mode. Last time out, we were at the Monaco Grand Prix, and after a surprising result in qualifying where we managed to pick pole position despite the fact that it's a track I struggle at immensely, we actually did manage to come away with the win. We held off our teammate Alex Albon, who was chasing us down for the win towards the end of the race. And yeah, it was a really good race in the end. You know, we came away with another win at Monaco, our second win at Monaco in 2 years. So yeah, can't complain about that. We're currently trailing him by 16 points in the championship. Albon having 3 wins this season to my 2 so far from the first 6 races. The other one picked up by that man, Max Verstappen, who I've just chosen as my rival. And yeah, we are about to get into what I can only describe as one of the worst Grand Prix on the calendar for me. Azerbaijan is a track that I struggle at immensely compared to the AI, due to the fact that they get incredibly superior traction out of basically every single corner compared to me. It is not particularly pleasant, and yeah, I'm hoping that, you know, this can just go okay. Maybe we can pick up a few points here, but honestly, I'm concerned that not even that is going to happen, especially because we're bumping up the AI difficulty. I forgot to do it for Monaco, but we did win our rivalry in Spain, so I should have bumped it up 1 race earlier, but hopefully you can forgive me on this. But it's now bumped up to 87, and yeah, if we win the next rivalry against Max Verstappen, then we will be bumping it up to 88, but that will be difficult because we're going to be going through a couple of tracks now which are not always the best for me. Azerbaijan and Canada, both of them I struggle with quite a lot. So yeah, I guess we will have to see whether we can grab the victory here or not. But yeah, first off, we have to do practice, and we have to do qualifying, and hopefully that can give us a representation of what our pace is going to be like. And if P1 is anything to sort of, you know, take away from, it looks like we're probably not going to have the best pace that we've ever had around any circuit, because we were the slowest of the medium compound runners. The only people who were slower than us were hard compound tyre runners, and honestly I really struggled to match that 141.3 I did after the fact. I had to burn a lot of ERS, an abnormally large amount of ERS I would even say, to be able just to get into that P20 position. So yeah, we're not looking great right now, and we're going to have to work very, very hard, I think, if we want to get even into Q2, never mind Q3, if that pace is anything to go by. So hopefully we can at least have a some way decent qualifying. But yeah, I'm not overly optimistic. Like I said, there's a reason why this track is particularly difficult for me. This one, along with Monza, are the two that really don't ever work out for me in quite the fashion that I would want them to. But yeah, let's see if we can do anything as we get into qualifying now. We go on a fresh set of soft compound tyres to kick off in Q1, and we crossed the line to do a 1:39.7. Currently the slowest time on the grid, so we probably will have to improve on that ever so slightly, I would imagine, as Sonoda goes fastest, 8 tenths faster than our current time. And now we're going again on another fresh set of soft compound tyres, and you can see that we're only improving by about 3 tenths, but I think it might be enough to see us through. We crossed the line, and in the end, it is good enough to put us P20. Shocking. That is our worst qualifying result in a very long time. But simply put, there was just nothing I could do about that, I don't think, you know. I can't really see how we would have been capable of doing any better than that. You know what I mean? We didn't have any more pace, really. You know, maybe I could have gone a tenth or 2 faster, but I don't think I would have even made it into, you know, we were 2.5 tenths off Ocon in 16th. I don't think we would have had the pace to make it through to Q2 anyway, even if we had been, you know, at our absolute maximum. So that is qualifying over for us already, and yeah, very, very shocking. You know, it's going to enable Albon to extend his lead at the top of the table even further, I imagine, unless he has an absolutely dire weekend on race day. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to have to see now if I can do anything to try and fight back into points. Obviously, we got back into the points in Imola, despite being stuck in a heavy DRS train, but it's even harder to overtake at Baku. You guys watched the Azerbaijan Grand Prix just a few weeks ago, so I'm sure you remember exactly how horrible that was as far as overtaking was concerned. But yeah, we don't really have much else that we can do, you know. We have to try something. At the end of the day, we're supposed to have the fastest car on the grid, but somehow I reckon that that things aren't going to be as cut and dry as that. So yeah, it's potentially going to be quite a long race for me, but we'll see what we're capable of doing when we get into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Good afternoon and welcome from Baku. This was the arena, if you think back to 2017, of one of the most eventful races of modern history, with controversy behind the safety car, last-second overtakes, and a historic podium for Williams and for Lance Stroll. Let's find out what lies in store for us this year. It's time for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Baku City Circuit then. It's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. What a great lap from Alexander Albon yesterday. He'll start from pole position, and Lando Norris lines up alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Russell, Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo, and Gasly, Oscar Piastri, Mick Schumacher, Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda, Stroll, Verstappen, Robert Schwartzman, Fittipaldi, Théo Pourchaire, Joe, Christian Lundgaard, and Robinson, Drugovich, Latifi, Magnussen, and Carlos Sainz will start from the back of the grid. With preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson is alongside me, as usual, for today's race. Let's have a chat about Williams. What do you make of their performance so far this season?
Well, the atmosphere within that team seems very positive at the moment. Everyone seems like they're in great spirits and having a lot of fun doing what they do, and that's definitely contributed to the performances we've seen.
Okay, now that we've got some good points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
So a couple grid penalties issued to Sainz and to Drugovich, which means that we are promoted up into P18. But nonetheless, this is not exactly where I would want to be starting in the race. I think that we'll probably have a good case to make against Christian Lundgaard just ahead of us in the Alfa Romeo, on account of the fact that he's starting on those hard compound tyres. Latifi behind starting on the soft tyres, but I don't think we'll have to worry about him too much. And really, it's going to be a case of how many places can we make up on lap 1, because I feel like after lap 1, things are only going to get more and more difficult to overtake. Once the DRS is enabled, it will basically be impossible for anyone apart from the second car in a DRS train. So, yeah, I think we just need to try and make as many positions up as we can, as early as we can, and see where we can go from there. But now we're getting ready to go as the lights come on. And the lights go out as we switch to the replay camera, and you can see that my teammate Alex Albon has gotten away well and covered off the lead already. Meanwhile, I'm kind of sandwiched in between a few cars. I actually have to move to the left to avoid going into Pourchaire, and that causes me to go into the side of Latifi instead, who has had a good start and has already jumped me. So yeah, I'm down to P19 off the beginning of the race, but I have jumped one car as well, Lundgaard, so I was instantly back up into P18, and now I'm racing with his teammate Théo Pourchaire for P17. We're going to try and go up the inside of him at this following corner, and maybe get ahead of him here. Yeah, I think we've just about managed to make the move stick. Yeah, he's not attacking us into the next corner, and now we're potentially going to try and put pressure on the cars ahead. That's Latifi and Enzo Fittipaldi, the man who replaced Latifi when he departed to Aston Martin. And yeah, now you can see I just will go around the outside, sweep around the outside of Nicholas Latifi, and we are back up into P16. And now we're going to try and put pressure on Enzo Fittipaldi in the Williams and see who is going to back out, who's going to play chicken at the castle section. Is it going to be me or him? You can see I went through first, and I'm up into P15. So that's not been a bad start, all things considered. Next up is Zhou Guanyu, but yeah, P18 to P15 on the start of the race. That's not a terrible way to start the race if we can keep making positions up, you know, maybe capitalise on some chaos in front. then this could be a solid race, but it's going to be a lot more difficult from this point onwards. You know, you saw how easy it was for me to make up positions at the start of the race in Imola, but then after that, things kind of settled into a bit more of a rhythm, and it was way harder to overtake these guys. But you never know. Maybe I could try something on strategy. Maybe I could try an undercut or something like that, and see if I could get ahead of these guys that way. Somehow, I don't actually think that will work, because I think the only reason I'm going to have pace in this race is if I stick to the back of the cars in front using DRS and the like. So yeah, we're going to have a bit of a challenge on our hands here, but we'll see what we're capable of doing. We move now on to the end of lap 2, and you can see that I am within range of Zhou Guanyu, but yeah, I'm not quite enough, not quite close enough to maybe look at going for a move on that occasion. But Enzo Fittipaldi, on the other hand, is not that far behind me either. So yeah, we need to be careful, especially on the exits of these corners. If we ride those curbs too much, we're going to lose a lot of time compared to the AI. And you can see now that me riding the curb on the exit of turn 2 has enabled Enzo Fittipaldi to come right alongside me, despite the fact that I had the DRS as well. He just had much superior pace. He goes up my inside. I have to leave him the space because the AI is absolutely crazy going into some of these corners. It's ridiculous how aggressive they are. It's a bit like Imola in that regard as well, actually. Both of these tracks are quite similar. The only thing that separates Azerbaijan from Imola really is the walls of Azerbaijan. And now we're looking at Nicholas Latifi, and it's been a very short race for him, unfortunately, because he is now out of it. And I'm wondering, if anyone knows, is this the way that the Aston Martin mirrors are actually structured, or is his mirror broken? Because I can't actually tell what that is meant to depict. But yeah, I thought it was quite interesting. So let me know in the comments if you have any idea what's up with that mirror, what the deal is with it. But yeah, for now we don't really gain anything out of that. But one thing we do gain from is Sonoda coming into the pits early, assumedly for some damage or something like that, and we move up into P14. We're still piling the pressure on Zhou Guanyu ahead, but we haven't been able to get past him so far. However, on this occasion, we are actually a little bit closer to him than we usually are. We're within about a couple of tenths, and I think we might go for a dive bomb here at turn 1. Yes, we are going to do that. We pull alongside him into the corner. He has to leave us space, and we make the move up into P13. So, yeah, now all we need to do is just try and close down Robert Schwartzman in front as quickly as we can. And we did manage to do exactly that. And that has enabled us to stay ahead of, well, it's actually Fittipaldi now. Joe's lost a couple more positions to Fittipaldi and Magnussen. But lap 12, and we're coming into the pits, and we're going to be pitting onto the hard compound tyres until the end of the race. And we're going to see if we can contend with the cars around us after that happens. You can see Stroll is in, Piastri is in, Schumacher is in, a lot of people are in. Maybe we can jump some people in the pits if they're being held up, but I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately. And yeah, we do come out ahead of Magnussen, but only just. And yeah, it's going to be difficult to keep him behind while they get these tyres warmed up. Obviously, he's warming up his tyres as well. But the AI always gets them warmed up a little bit quicker than I do. And you can see that come the end of the lap, Magnussen is very close behind me, and I've not been able to close up Piastri ahead. So Magnussen, with the DRS, he's going to absolutely breeze past me on this occasion and be comfortably ahead coming out of the pits. And yeah, now we're going to switch to the replay camera, have a look, and you can see that Fittipaldi is actually pressuring me out of the pits as well. We make a bit of contact, that causes me to go into a spin, and fortunately we don't spin the whole way around, we just get a bit of an oversteer, but that has allowed Zhou Guanyu into the fight on me as well. You can see that he's very close, and also Drugovic and that other AlphaTauri. We're going 3 wide down into turn 3. I am going to win out through the middle, which is kind of crazy, but yeah, we managed to stay in P17 for the time being, and as more cars pit, we will get promoted back up the order, I imagine. The only car we've really lost out to here, I think, is Enzo Fittipaldi, but I'm not 100% sure about that. You can see that Sainz and one of the Alfa Romeos have pitted now. That promotes us back up into P15, and I think there's one car left to pit on the grid, and that is Yuki Tsunoda, who could not go to the end after his initial pit stop. So yeah, he is in the pits again. You will see we are just coming up to pass him in the pit lane now, and that will promote us back up into P14. And now every other position that we're going to gain has to be made on track, so we're going to try and get ahead of these guys as quickly as we possibly can. But I think it's going to be a lot more difficult from this point out. You know, we're still stuck in the DRS train. You can see we're about 3 tenths behind Enzo Fittipaldi on this occasion. And yeah, we're going to see, maybe we can try and look for a dive bomb. We're a bit further back than we were when we went for the Zhou Guanyu move. You can see he was already turning into the corner. We did make a bit of contact, not only with him, but also with the wall. But yeah, I don't know. He's going to try and dive us straight back into turn 2, and he doesn't quite make the move work on this occasion. And actually, Sainz managed to overtake him as a result of that as well, and now Sainz is putting a lot of pressure on me. I could not get quite within range of Magnussen, although I did have the DRS. But I think Sainz is, with the superior tyres going up the inside here, we're just going to give him plenty of room. I don't really think we can race with him that much. And yeah, that's going to cause us now to fall back to P14 immediately after making it up to P13. Fittipaldi and Dragovic battling like mad behind. I don't think Fittipaldi actually picked up any damage from the contact between me and him, because yeah, all the time that he lost was just due to battling with cars behind. And as you will see in a moment, he does close up to the back of me again before the end of the race. And speaking of the end of the race, you can see that we are now on the final lap of the Grand Prix. George Russell is actually the winner, so I don't know what happened to Alex Albon, but yeah, George Russell was able to pip him. We weren't able to make up any more positions, unfortunately. You know, we just couldn't contend with Sainz, and Sainz wasn't able to overtake anyone else to maybe try and give us a route through to overtake these guys. And so yeah, that was pretty much everything that happened in this Grand Prix. A very disappointing result as we crossed the line to take P14, and yeah, that is not what I wanted to happen this weekend. However, you know, unfortunately, this track just does not suit me whatsoever. Doesn't suit my ability to race the AI, and yeah, it was just a big struggle overall.
It's never an easy race here in Azerbaijan. There's drama around every corner, but they've come through to take a brilliant victory here today. Tell me, Ant, how do you think they were able to deliver such an incredible result today?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
Well, yeah, Russell, Leclerc, Norris was the top 3. So Albon starting on pole, failing to even crack the top 3 in the end. I don't know what happened with him. Maybe he had an issue at some point or something like that. But yeah, he fails to capitalise on the fact that I didn't score any points. He's only going to extend his lead on me by a little bit. And yeah, things could be a lot worse in this championship. Albon failing to score anywhere near as many points as I think he would have hoped to try and extend his lead on this occasion.
So let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. It's a positive result for Alexander Albon, who moves further out in front at the top of the standings. Some amazing talent out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
Carlos Sainz would be my first choice for this race. He had excellent race stamina, giving him the opportunity to charge through the ranks.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. No change in the top spot then, but with today's points, their hold on that lead is getting weaker. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
So, Albon 27 points ahead of me in the championship after outscoring me by 10 points. And, I mean, that's a deficit that we can overcome, for sure. It's not the end of the world by any stretch of the imagination. Yes, we're arguably in one of the stronger parts of my season, usually. But we are going to go into a couple of other stronger races for me in the not-too-distant future. You know, that Britain, Austria, France triple header will be quite nice for us. Belgium and Belgium and Netherlands are a couple other tracks that I tend to do quite well at. And then, yeah, obviously, again, we got that final 4 races, which are always a good combo for me. Although actually last year I only was able to win in one of those circuits, and that was Portugal. So yeah, maybe I can't take all of these things for granted. You know, but we've had some unexpected wins at some other circuits on occasion. You know, we were on for a decent result at Hungary last year before our car broke down. We were on for a decent result at Singapore, and we did manage to get the win because Albon was on a weird strategy. You know, there's plenty of things that could still go wrong for Albon, and there's plenty of things that could still go right for us as well, quite frankly. So I just need to maintain a positive attitude about this kind of thing, and not get my head down just because we've had a few bad results this season. You know, really, the only bad results we've had per se this season have been in Imola, where we obviously had the DNF in the sprint, and then here. And those are the only ones that I really am looking at and going, yeah, that was not a good race for us. And I mean, considering where we started in the race in Imola, I would still say that even walking away with 1 point there is pretty good. So yeah, I'm not too disappointed, to be honest with you, with how the season is going. You know, everyone has a bad race from time to time, and this was just that one for me. You know, really hard to overtake at this track. You saw that in real life, and then you're seeing that again in the game. I love to be able to overtake these guys with ease, but yeah, unfortunately that wasn't what was on the agenda today. So yeah, we come home in a disappointing P14. But hopefully we can bounce back in Canada. I'm thinking we can at least get a podium in Canada if everything goes according to plan. You know, I haven't been looking quite as strong this season as I've looked in previous seasons, for sure. We've only had 2 wins, one of which was, you know, just a pretty straightforward defense of once you got pole position in Monaco. But, you know, the win in China was good, and I'm hoping that I can find some form before the end of the season. And yeah, maybe claim my 4th Drivers' Championship, 3rd Constructors' Championship for the team it would be if we win this season, which I think we're, once again, looking pretty good to do. We're 91 points in the lead of the championship after just 7 races, so if we can keep up this level of form that the team's performing at, I see absolutely no reason why we shouldn't be able to walk away with that Constructors' Trophy with races to spare as well, quite frankly. But, you know, you never know what happens in the world of Formula 1, and things can change very quickly. But nonetheless, that is going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed, please make sure you like and subscribe, and yeah, hopefully I will see you in the next one.